Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today I have a project that is something new for me. In fact, it is something that I don't think I've ever seen anywhere else. It's something that I was thinking about and decided I wanted to try, so I just pulled out some paper, started playing until I found exactly what I wanted, and this is what we have. Now, you may or may not know that I really like graphic 45 paper. I'm not saying I like every single one of the graphic 45 papers. There are a few that I really don't care for. However, if there was, at this point anyway, if there was one paper line and I was told I could only buy paper from one place, it probably would be graphic 45 as far as their prints. They don't offer a lot of solids that I'm aware of, but I just love their paper. This is the Graphic 45 Secret Garden collection, and honestly this is the only collection that I have both 8x8 and 6x6 in. So I'm going to be using both of those for this project. These are all double-sided. The 6x6 are more the smaller patterns, and then the back side has the solid colors that go with it. And so that's why I pulled this one, because I wanted the solids that coordinated with the larger sheets. And then the 8x8 is really very much a replication of the 12x12 pad, only sized appropriately for 8x8. To scale it down, which is perfect for this project that I'm doing today. So I'm using those two papers from the Secret Garden collection, and this is actually going to be my main paper. And then from 3 Girl Jam, I'm using Witch's Brew. Now, I'm going to show you an alternate project at the end of the video, and on that one I use Baby Boy from the Baby collection, but this is Witch's Brew from the Halloween collection, and I'll say more about that on the blog. So let's get started. The first thing that I need to do is cut my paper. So this is an 8x8 sheet, as I've mentioned. So I am going to come up here and I am going to cut this at 7 inches wide. I know you don't know what I'm making yet, but bear with me and I'll tell you more. And then I am going to cut it at 6 inches tall. Now, the original one that I started to do, I cut in a 6x6 inch square, and had that worked out, which it didn't, then you could use 6x6 paper. But if you don't have 8x8 paper, you're going to have to use either 8.5 by 11 or 12x12 paper for this, because the 6x6 was just a tad bit too small. So this is going to be the top, this is going to be the bottom. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out my little score pal, and I'm going to start with the width. So this obviously has a pattern that is very much running in one direction. If your paper is like that, you're going to want to pay attention. I'm going on the 7-inch side, and I'm going to score this at 3.5 inches and get a good score. Then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score the opposite direction at 2 inches, just like this. And then I'm going to set this aside, and now I have my paper all scored and ready to go. This is actually a very simple project once I figured out my score marks. Can you tell what I'm making? If not, you'll figure it out soon. So the first thing that I'm going to do is on that first score line, I am just going to crease it and make sure I've got a tight crease, just like that. Then I'm going to open it up, and then on that 2-inch score line right there, I'm going to crease it in the opposite direction. So I'm sure you can tell I'm making a book of some sort. So now I want to get my ATG and open this out. Oops. And I'm just going to, from the score line to the bottom, I'm going to run a line of adhesive. And again, on this side, from the score line to the bottom, another line. I thought about running a line in the middle, but I decided not to, because I just wanted the extra give. I'm going to crease that down, and I'm going to close it. Now, you see it pops right back open because this score line here is the opposite direction. And so I'm going to close it again, and again I'm going to really crease it down. the one thing I don't like about this project is the bulk that it does when you make this little book. But I think it's going to be okay, and I think over time it will kind of mash down a bit. So there we have it. I'm leaving the edges raw. You could get all fancy and turn them in, but I'm leaving them raw. Now, remember I said this is very distinctive pattern, and this is upside down. I am okay with the fact that it's upside down because from the collection, I have these fun things. And I'm actually going to, on the inside, set those two pieces aside. I am going to cover the main part of the words, and so it's not going to be as noticeable. And what I did is I just took some of the paper that was printed on one side and solid on the other and matted it. And these are the stamps that are the floral stamps and the little saying stamps, and really all of these pieces are just extra pieces that you can cut down, and they actually would make gorgeous cards too. I'm just using them for this. And then this one I have 3 little stamps, and of course with purple being my favorite, and I will say purple is my favorite color. Lavender is not. However, I don't dislike lavender, and this is a more pastel. I tend to run in the bolder jewel tone colors, are usually my favorites. But this particular paper pattern or paper is what I wanted to use, and it tends to run more in the pastels. But for this project, it will work. And I'm just kind of putting them on here, kind of randomly, kind of a mishmash. And again, I mounted these as well onto a mat. You could, you don't have to. And on the alternate one that I'll show you, I did not mat them, and you'll see that. So there we have that. So now we're actually almost done with this project. It's really a quick project. So now, as you can see, I'm making a little book here. And so this is where I took my witch's brew, and I cut this at about 18 inches. And, or it is really almost right on the button, 18 inches. And I'm going to push this, I just folded it in half, and I'm going to put it in the middle, fold it in half, right about there. Now, for the most part, I'm not going to secure this. I'm going to, though, a little bit, just so it doesn't move, so I can finish the outside. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just choosing a place that I know will be under the book, under the decorations on top, so that the tape won't show. And then I'm doing the same in the back, making sure I have it just about as straight as I can. And then that way the tape won't show, but the ribbon is secure while I'm doing the rest of the book. So now this is going to be my back piece, and this is just a little saying from the writer of The Secret Garden, Frances Burnett. It says, "Spring is the sun shining on the rain, and the rain falling on the sunshine." And so I'm just going to adhere that to the back. You'll notice I'm not adding a lot of bulk to this book. I could really enhance this by using foam tape, for instance. But this is a book that you'll see what it's for in just a minute, but it's a book that I plan to carry in my purse. And I have learned the hard way that you start adding bling, and even just layering paper can create a mess, but you start adding bling and stuff, and it's all going to fall into the bottom of your purse anyway. So I'm super adhering the cardboard pieces because I know that they're going to wear out, and of course when it wears out I'll just make another one. But I'm really adhering it well and not adding bling. Now you'll notice on this one, I am not centering this. And the reason well, I'll get back to that in a second. The reason I'm not centering it is because I wanted more of that paper to show on one side. And if I had centered it, you would lose even more. So there we have this. Now this particular one has a kind of a old-fashioned, it's an 1896 calendar on it. And what I'm using my little book for is an ATC holder. This is an ATC card that I recently made. Remember, if you remember when I made this one, I mentioned how that I wanted to carry them in my purse so that when I was talking to people, if they wanted to know about my YouTube and my blog, I would have them to give out. And so I have made a little ATC holder, just like that. And there we have it. Now I did make an alternate one. And this is the first one I made. This is the same paper collection, just different colors and different parts of it. And this is the baby boy. And when I open it on the inside, I used the same little stamp. Well, they remind me of postage stamps, and then a different saying. It says, "In the secret garden bloomed and bloomed, and every morning revealed new miracles." And I'm actually going to slide an ATC card in there. And this one is actually going to be added to my giveaway stash. Remember, I have a 500 subscriber giveaway going on, and I'm going to be making things to send to one of you who has commented on that 500 subscriber video. So if you haven't done that yet, be sure and check that out, and you maybe could win this one. But this one is mine. This one's going in my purse. I'm going to add another ATC card because I have a couple of extra ones here. And what I liked about the calendar, and which I didn't mention before, what I liked about the calendar is, if you remember, if you've seen my other videos, I've told you that I wanted to change it. I'm only making a few ATC cards at a time so that I can have them change out with the season or with the holiday or with whatever's going on. And I wanted to be able to just put a couple in there and have it in my purse. Now those are thicker ATC cards. Not all my are quite that thick. So there we have it, ATC card holders. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.